So let's take a look at how you execute a query and fetch the results. This is getAlbumsSQL, and it's a simple function that just assigns a query, select everything from the album order by title, and executes that query and returns a handle to the results. It does not actually return the results, and this is an important distinction. Query result handle, QRH stands for query result handle there in the comments, is a handle to the executed query, and it allows you to fetch the results one by one. The importance of this is that if your table is very, very large and you don't know how many albums somebody might have in their albums database, there may be more data than would even fit in memory in the computer. And if you go and load up a variable with more data than will fit in memory, well, something's going to give, and it could create security problems, it could create stack overflows, it could crash your computer. So instead what we do here is we perform this query, and it gets all set up, and then the results are simply grabbed one by one off of the disk. And that happens up here in the list albums function. It calls getAlbumsSQL, so it gets the query result handle. And then down here, it grabs the first row, and that way it can test. If there is no first row, then we know that there's no albums in the database. And otherwise, we eventually get down here, and we set a row count, and we go ahead and build the results, album results row. That's a function that builds the HTML for the results from the row. And it increments the count, and then goes ahead and fetches more using this fetch associative function. The fetch associative function is great because it assigns an associative array to the result, and that associative array has all of the column names in the keys. So that's really, really useful. So this is how you do a query and get the results. You don't want to call some fetch all function that's going to load up your memory with some unknown amount of data. That way lies tragedy. Instead, what you want to do is be smart about it, execute the query, and then fetch the results one by one so that you can deal with them in bite-sized chunks that'll fit in memory one at a time. And this is how that's done in MySQLi in PHP.